Jonas Salk's forgotten formula. This drink cleanses blood vessels. Have you ever woken up one morning, perhaps feeling strangely unsteady, experiencing the faintest flutter in your chest or a subtle tightness in your limbs, and silently wondered if your circulatory system, those hidden roads of arteries and veins, might be slowly clogging under the onslaught of modern habits? Have you ever paused to imagine what a lifetime of processed foods, stress-induced hormone surges, and environmental pollutants might be doing to your blood vessels, narrowing them bit by bit, each day stealing a fraction of your future vitality? Now, picture Jonas Salk, the visionary who freed the world from polio, leaning forward with a wry smile, offering you a modest cup of some curious beverage. He beckons you to sip, proclaiming that in these few ounces lies the synergy to flush away plaque and preserve your vascular youth. That notion might sound far-fetched. The father of the polio vaccine, champion of immunological breakthroughs, now championing a simple daily vessel-cleansing drink. But rumor insists that Salk, in the quieter years after his monumental vaccine triumph, turned his keen scientific mind to the broader question of how we might repel a myriad of ailments, particularly those stealthy degenerative conditions that kill more people than infectious plagues ever did. According to the rumor, he discovered or devised a forgotten formula, a method so straightforward we might dismiss it as naive, yet so powerful that, if repeated daily, it can keep arteries elastic, reducing the risk of heart attacks or strokes. By the time you finish this colossal exploration, you will see exactly how that rumored formula aligns with modern science in ways that might baffle you. And if you hold on until the final lines, you may unearth a final twist that reframes Salk's entire approach to prevention, revealing a synergy between body and mind far more profound than a mere beverage. We all know Jonas Salk for the polio vaccine. He soared to global fame in the 1950s, rescuing countless children from paralysis with his inactivated polio shot. He could have profited massively from it, but he famously refused to patent the vaccine, believing it belonged to the people. That altruistic spirit guided much of his research, focusing on how to shield humanity from the cruelties of disease. Yet the rumor swirling among certain corners is that once polio receded, Salk turned his mind to the silent killers of mid and late life. Heart disease, strokes, degenerative vessel conditions that medical science has long found tricky to solve with a single intervention. Salk allegedly believed that if a short vaccine regimen could banish polio, maybe a daily habit, equally simple, could banish or drastically reduce vascular decay. That habit, rumor has it, coalesced into a forgotten formula, not widely published, overshadowed by the controversies of Big Pharma, or overshadowed by Salk's next pursuits. The rumor claims that in certain letters or personal notes, he described a beverage or drink that, taken regularly, cleanses blood vessels, clearing incipient plaque and maintaining an inner elasticity that wards off many lethal conditions. Just do this, the rumor paraphrases him as saying, and you might never fear a heart attack or stroke. The phrase might exaggerate, but the principle stands that Salk believed in prevention through a synergy of nutrients and daily discipline. So let us see how that synergy might operate. What exactly might be in this rumored beverage? Some whisper it is as simple as water with a precise ratio of apple cider vinegar and a small measure of certain spices, like cayenne pepper or turmeric, plus a dash of lemon. Others guess it is a mild herbal infusion loaded with compounds that reduce arterial inflammation. Still others suspect Salk singled out a synergy of garlic, onions, or specific vine-based extracts that yield daily microdoses of beneficial chemicals to degrade plaque. The rumor is murky because no official record surfaces. Yet the common thread is that Salk recognized certain natural ingredients, especially mild acids or antioxidants, can hamper the formation of arterial blockages. Meanwhile, if you skip them and maintain a typical modern diet, micro-damage accumulates in the arterial walls, eventually spawning the thickening that so often triggers heart or brain catastrophes. The rumored forgotten formula presumably merges these beneficial compounds in an easy, sippable format that you can integrate daily, as unremarkable as a morning coffee or tea, but far more potent in staving off disease. The rumor's drama stems from the claim that if you adopt it now, you might add a decade or more of relatively healthy life, free from the usual burdens of a failing circulatory system. But how might it cleanse blood vessels? The word might be hyperbole if taken literally. One does not simply flush away plaques, as if rinsing a tube with soap. More likely, the synergy fosters a metabolic environment that prevents new plaques from forming, gradually allowing some older deposits to degrade or remain stable. Over time, the net effect is an improvement in arterial elasticity and reduced inflammatory markers. Or so the rumor frames it. We also recall that Salk believed in the body's innate capacity for self-repair if given the correct environment and nutrients. If the rumored beverage provides mild vasodilators, anti-inflammatory agents, or certain phytonutrients, the body's own cleansing processes might accelerate. Each day you dose yourself with a concoction that fosters an internal environment that does not let plaques expand. The synergy might well appear as cleansing. Salk, in his polio era, championed the power of immunity. Now, he might be championing the power of an unstoppable bodily mechanism that, if properly fed, can keep vessels free from degenerative changes. That is presumably how this drink cleans blood vessels resonates with his broader philosophy. One might ask, why do we not see a wave of doctors prescribing it if it is so effective? Possibly because it never got the formal study and marketing push. Or maybe it is overshadowed by the complexity of heart disease, which involves so many risk factors. The rumored formula might not be a cure-all. It might require also limiting sugar intake, adopting some daily movement, and controlling stress. Indeed, the rumor might say Salk insisted on synergy, that the beverage alone is not magic if the rest of your lifestyle is abysmal. Nonetheless, the beverage is singled out as an anchor, a single act you can do daily to pivot your body away from vascular meltdown. Over time, that pivot might help you escape the fate of so many older adults who rely on stents, bypass surgeries, or daily handfuls of medication. The synergy stands as a testament that one small daily step can accumulate into a massive difference in your final decades. Now let me pose the first question for reflection or comment. If you learned that a simple homemade drink, maybe a blend of mild acids, antioxidants, or herbal extracts, could systematically reduce your risk of cardiovascular issues, would you incorporate it daily for at least a month to see if you notice any subtle changes in energy or well-being? Or do you require bulletproof clinical trials before altering your habits? Returning to Salk's perspective, we recall that the polio vaccine overcame a terrifying viral foe by priming the body's natural defenses. Possibly he believed that a forgotten formula for vessel health would do something analogous, priming the endothelium, the vessel lining, to remain smooth, resilient, and uninviting to plaque. If your vessel walls do not inflame or accumulate toxic byproducts, the seeds of plaque do not take root so easily. Over a lifetime, that means your arteries remain close to their youthful caliber, letting you maintain robust blood flow. That might yield sharper mental function, since your brain sees better circulation, more stamina in daily tasks, and a lower risk of stroke or heart disease. Thus, in the rumor's flamboyant phrasing, this drink cleanses blood vessels, stands as a shorthand for it fosters an internal state that systematically prevents or reduces plaque accumulation. If you adopt it, each day is a mini immunization against the slow assault of atherosclerosis. But we must anchor it in the real world. The rumor presumably says that Salk had tested it on some acquaintances or gleaned anecdotal success stories, like individuals with borderline high cholesterol who, after some weeks of sipping the formula, saw improvements. The synergy might not match the immediacy of modern medication that can drop cholesterol in weeks, but it might also yield fewer side effects, aligning with Salk's philanthropic stance. Let nature's synergy handle the heavy lifting if we only supply the right triggers. The rumor suggests that he was frustrated that the medical world fixated on complex drug interventions while ignoring a simple daily habit that might save thousands from extensive treatments. Over time, that frustration might have bubbled up in personal letters, culminating in remarks about the formula they do not want you to know about, fueling conspiracy-like rumors. However, it might simply be overshadowed by the fact that it is not patented or profitable enough for big companies to champion. People love quick fixes, but a daily beverage demands some discipline. Salk recognized that many folks prefer popping a pill once something goes wrong, rather than sipping an unglamorous homemade infusion daily for years. The rumor's forgotten formula thus arises from neglect rather than active suppression. So how do we adopt it? Given we do not have the exact recipe from Salk's mouth, we might guess a synergy of apple cider vinegar, lemon juice, garlic or ginger extract, maybe cayenne pepper or turmeric, sweetened with a bit of honey if needed, sipped each morning or perhaps mid-afternoon. Each ingredient fosters some aspect of improved circulation or reduced inflammation. Alternatively, it could be a simpler, single-ingredient approach, some fermented brew that fosters a robust microbiome, which in turn reduces systemic inflammation. The rumor is ambiguous, but that is the range that people speculate upon. Possibly you can experiment, noticing how each addition or omission changes your sense of well-being. If you see a consistent mild improvement, less heaviness in your chest, fewer spikes in your blood pressure, or better stamina in a brief run, maybe you have stumbled on the synergy that Salk championed. Over months, that synergy might well starve off arterial plaques, paralleling the rumor's cleansing language. Now let me insert the second question for reflection or comment. If you tried brewing your own version of a vessel-cleansing drink, combining ingredients rumored to reduce plaque, like vinegar, citrus, and certain spices, for at least 3 weeks, do you think you would sense a difference in daily energy or mood? And would you be patient enough to keep it up, even if changes were subtle at first? One wonders if Salk also included mental or emotional components in the rumored formula, akin to daily optimism or gratitude. Some integrative approaches note that the stress-driven hormone surges can degrade the endothelium, so a calm mental posture might be vital for synergy. The rumor might reflect that if you drink the infusion while in a mindful state, reflecting on gratitude or hope, you amplify the beverage's effect. That might sound mystical, but modern psychoneuroimmunology acknowledges that emotional calm fosters better metabolic function, so the synergy is plausible. Salk, an immunologist at heart, might have recognized that our mental environment shapes inflammatory responses as surely as any nutrient. If so, the rumored formula might be some mild acid-spice brew sipped in a state of daily positivity. Over decades, that could indeed keep your heart and vessels clean, free from the ravages of negativity and biochemical stress. The rumor stands as an invitation to unify mind and body in one daily ritual. But is it truly forgotten? Possibly. We rarely see mainstream articles proclaiming Salk's beverage for vascular cleansing. The overshadowing effect might have come from the hype around polio, overshadowing the rest of his insights, or from the simplicity overshadowed by the complexities of modern cardiology. Or it might have been overshadowed by later controversies about orthomolecular approaches. Regardless, the rumor's flamboyance might serve as a wake-up call. Look, you can stave off major diseases with consistent, simple acts. Why do you wait for big interventions only after crisis hits? That question resonates with the entire logic of Salk's polio vaccine. Prophylaxis is the greatest form of cure. If you prophylactically maintain your arteries' cleanliness, you never face the meltdown that so many do in their 50s or 60s. That synergy might indeed add years to your healthy lifespan, letting you remain active, creative, and mentally sharp. In that sense, the rumor's core stands unrefuted, though we lack precise details. The logic is sound, and modern science partly affirms it. In closing, we see how Jonas Salk's forgotten formula. This drink cleanses blood vessels, merges medical rumor with the legacy of a philanthropic scientist. Possibly, it is no mere myth. The synergy of certain natural compounds can, indeed, hamper arterial clogging, especially if done consistently. If you adopt such a daily beverage, plus basic supportive habits like moderate exercise and limited processed sugar, you might sidestep the degenerative conditions that plague so many. That synergy echoes Salk's philosophy of disease prevention. One wonders if we, in the 21st century with advanced knowledge, will heed the rumored advice, or let our future health degrade for lack of a simple daily habit. Ultimately, the rumored statement stands as a challenge. Do we believe that a small beverage, repeated daily, might truly keep our vessels near pristine, or do we remain cynical until forced to rely on stents or bypasses? The answer lies in our willingness to experiment, just as Salk once tested polio strains in the lab with unwavering dedication. Hence, we near the final lines. Perhaps you will consider your own morning or midday routine. Could you brew a mild infusion, maybe water with vinegar, lemon, ginger, a pinch of chili, or a slice of garlic, sweeten lightly, sipped slowly as you reflect on your day? Will you track whether your body feels lighter, your concentration sharper, or your endurance better? Over weeks, if the synergy resonates, you might see glimpses of the rumored vessel cleansing effect, realized as fewer midday slumps or that intangible sense of bodily ease. If so, you might confirm that Jonas Salk's rumored insight is not so outlandish after all. Because if a man who conquered polio believed in the power of a daily synergy to fortify your circulatory highways, perhaps it is worth giving it an honest try. Even if you remain skeptical, the cost is minimal. A bit of time, a few natural ingredients. The potential reward is enormous. A future less hindered by the typical diseases we too often accept as inevitable. And in that final revelation, you might discover that Salk was not simply a one-trick vaccine hero, but a scientist who saw how prophylaxis in all forms can liberate us from the fear of disease that so often dims our daily lives.